A quick one before our live stream starts. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we go live there every day trading the markets, covering world news, and talking through setups in real time. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next session.
Still doom scrolling? Brain rot taking over? You'll focus tomorrow, right? But what if tomorrow never comes? What if it all started with one small choice? The world won't wait for you. Opportunity is moving right now. One decision is all it takes to shift your momentum. Fuel your mind and watch possibilities open up. Small wins stack up, focus sharpens, growth begins. Everything changes the moment you focus. Lock in and make the switch today. Bring your ambition into focus. Trade with Switch Markets.
Are you still trading everything manually? More traders are moving to automation, running strategies 24/7, removing emotion, and staying consistent. Now with Switch Markets, you've got the tools to build and run your own automated trading systems, so your strategy delivers even when you're asleep.
Meet Switch Markets, a broker for ambitious people who want to trade the financial markets.
You mean that I can trade things like Forex, stocks, even gold with you?
Yes, you can even trade the coffee bean market with us.
What about digital currencies? Can I trade them too?
Absolutely. Maybe now's your time to get in.
Oh, and are you regulated?
Yes, we are.
And how easy is it to deposit and withdraw? Will you charge me any fees?
It's easy. Deposit and withdraw instantly. Nice and simple. And unlike that guy, we won't grab any fees from you.
Do you have a low spread trading account?
We certainly do. Pick from our zero commission or our low spreads account. It's up to you.
Okay then, what makes you so different from every other broker out there?
Our 5-star rated real human customer support and our perks package worth thousands. No other broker can beat it.
So, who did you say you were again?
Switch to success. Trade with Switch Markets.
Getting started in trading shouldn't be complicated. You can open an account, get set up, and be ready to go pretty quickly. Now, if you've been thinking about it, take a look. Click the link in the description below. You can even start with a free demo account.
In trading, like climbing, the hardest step is to pause, hold, and trust your position. Ambition pulls you forward. Focus keeps you steady. Together, they take you higher. Bring your ambition into focus. Switch Markets.
Already trading with another broker? Fair enough. But if you haven't looked around lately, you might be missing out. Now, Switch Markets is picking up awards, offering tools most brokers don't, and their support actually shows up. It might be time for you to switch to Switch Markets. Click the link in the description below to get started today.
Discipline starts before the first punch is thrown. Focus sharpens in silence. Repetition builds control. Every movement prepares you for the fight ahead. Trading isn't luck. It's preparation. It's grit. Your fight is won long before the bell even rings. Champions trade with Switch Markets. It's time to bring your ambition into focus.
Are you still with the same broker? Now, there are better options out there. There's more tools, better support, and a platform built for traders. It's time that you demand more from your broker. Take a look at Switch Markets. Traders all over the world are already using Switch Markets. Thousands of traders just like you across multiple markets each and every day. If you haven't joined yet, you can open an account and begin trading in just a few minutes. Click the link in the description.
What am I doing? I told myself this year was going to be different. So many things I want to achieve, yet I'm here wasting my time doom scrolling. I was going to start running again. I was going to make more of an effort with my friends. I was going to work on my confidence.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trading Room. I'm Shane Vernier, and this is the week ahead. Today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at SpaceX stock. That seems to be the biggest story in finance right now. We've also got an Iran war deal. We've got the U.S. and Iran signing a memorandum of agreement, whatever that is. So we've got a 60-day ceasefire that's promised, and also the Strait of Hormuz is going to open. We've got falling crude oil prices, which is a big deal. We've got stocks really on the rally here, but I want to address a question that I've got several times since last Friday. Switch Markets is now offering the SpaceX CFD. The problem is it's not up and running yet. So this will be available to trade in the coming days. I genuinely don't know when exactly the launch is going to be. I will say that I'm a bit, I wouldn't say disappointed, but I'm a bit taken aback that we're not quite live just yet. But I will say this: there's a lot of legwork that comes into really launching one of these markets. It's one of those things that has to be dialed in just perfectly, especially when you're talking about a CFD on a stock. Now, that's a derivative product. That means there's going to be a tremendous amount of volatility. Leverage is involved. It's a lot different than maybe listing something at the exchange. So I'm willing to give everybody a little bit of leeway here, but we are watching this closely. I'm excited for this to get up and running. I want to throw the 9 EMA strategy on it because it is an extremely volatile stock. That means the CFD action is going to be fantastic, and I definitely want this to get up and running relatively soon. But we will just keep checking back. We'll do the best we can with it. But this is something that I had to address right off the bat because I got a lot of questions. Shane, SpaceX, is it on Switch Markets? Is it on MT5? It is there. We're just not trading it just yet. So from what I've been told, it's going to happen in short order. I genuinely couldn't give you an exact time or place you're going to be able to trade this here at Switch, but it is live. There's the ticker, SPCX.US. I'm excited. I wanted to trade it today, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll go ahead. We'll take a look at the key technicals that you're going to be essentially needing to know. I mean, right now we're seeing SpaceX, a lot of demand. There's a lot of demand for that stock, so you're definitely going to want to tune in and get involved in that market because it is a hot one. Very excited. I haven't been that excited in a long time since last Friday, and today, a lot of great action. We are having some technical difficulties here. Excuse me. Microphone sort of tripping out a little bit, and also we've got my mouse. Okay, mouse is dead. Stream Deck's dead. Everything's dead. Let me go ahead and try to do a quick reset. One of the things you find out when you're streaming from over a mile high, I live at about 5,300 feet, static electricity, very, very difficult on computers, very, very tough on computers. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started here. I want to do a trade update, and then we'll go ahead and dive into some of our fundamentals. EuroCAD, this is the EuroCAD trade from last week. It was very good, a 4-hour trade, 920 EMA crossover. I get the question a lot. They say, Shane, what should I trade? What kind of strategy would be good for me as a beginner? What would you recommend? I go, man, a 4-hour chart on a Forex pair that's active, 920 EMA crossover, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but these are swing trades. These aren't intraday trades. These are swing trades. But you can see right there, we have the bid signal right there. This was the trade that we had set up. A little bit of retracement there. That's why you really can't get scared out of these things, especially if you're swing trading. You just sort of let them play out. But this right here was a fantastic trade. Really a nice move after what I would call really a solid bid signal. So you can see right there, we had that out quite a while ago. I believe that came out last week, and you can see that right there. Really a beautiful position. Long position, nice crossover. EuroCAD, what happened last week? ECB and BOC got involved. We've got another big week for you. We've got another big week of key events. We've got FOMC live on FOMC live on Wednesday. We've got BOE and S&B live on Thursday. I won't have that coverage for you as it breaks, but we are going to trade the aftermath Thursday. Thursday should be a fun Forex session. FOMC Wednesday. So everybody's going to be, okay, what's the Fed doing? Okay, dollars all over the place. And then you're going to get the Swiss National Bank's going to get involved. Then the Bank of England's going to get involved. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're going to trade anything this week, I mean, I would say you probably, are you short? I mean, did you go short crude oil? Nobody knew that agreement was going to happen. We talked about it Friday, but this is one of those weeks where you're probably going to be looking at those Forex majors. Swiss francs in play. Swiss franc's going to be in play. U.S. dollar is going to be in play, and also all of your pound pairs, your pound sterling pairs. So a lot going on here. We're going to dive into as much as we can today. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask me in the live chat. I'm way behind on it, so let's go ahead and get caught up right now. So good to see everybody back out in YouTube land. Tina Jing. Hello, Shane. Happy Monday. Mondays are great, Tina. I tell you what, after a long weekend, I always love it when the market kicks back off again. I'm born again, right? So you definitely, I get excited every time they hit the opening bell on typically on Sunday afternoon. That's when the futures start trading. So it's a lot of fun for me every Monday. I like Mondays. I don't dive in though. I don't get in there and I don't go ham on a Monday. No way. Lost too much money on Mondays when I was young, and I avoid that like the plague now. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is exactly when I want to be trading. But you guys know that. You've been watching a long time. So good to see you, Tina. Welcome. Let me see. Tufo, hi. Nice day. It's a great day. It's a great day to be alive. Old Travis Tritt song. It's a great day to be alive. Absolutely. No, we're doing very well here. A couple of things we'll talk about with regards to the Iran war, some positive breakthroughs there that are definitely dictating. I mean, that is the number one market driver. U.S. oil, $80. Seems cheap. It's still really expensive, but compared to 110, it's a fantastic deal. Let me see. Tina Xing, is oil going to drop? Oil, we're going to break down oil for you here in a bit. I think that 68 is a fantastic level. I would definitely write that down if I was trading crude oil, and I am. So I'm watching 68 closely. I think that we're going to talk a little bit about the agreement, and I don't want to be – there's so many different podcasts out there, and there's so many live streams, and everybody's just hating on everything right now. It seems to me like that everything is so negative. This is a positive move, but it doesn't really change a whole heck of a lot. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Strait of Hormuz is open for business theoretically. It could all grind to a halt, with one missile strike. But we're definitely positive. We're positive going into the summertime. It was an interesting move, that's for sure. Is this for real this time? The Peach deal? I'll give you my opinion. I don't think so. We're not done. It's not done. But this is designed to get oil prices down over the 4th of July holiday here in the United States. That's the truth. Can't lie to you guys. I'm going to shoot you straight up. This deal is a memorandum of understanding. Say that 3 times. A memorandum of understanding. Whatever that is. No idea what that is. Nobody knows what that is. The bottom line is that it stopped the shooting for 60 days. Strait of Hormuz is going to be open. That's going to be a negative. It's negative on price action for WTI today. We're down about 5%. That's fantastic. I mean, that's great news. Markets are up. Oil's down. Memorandum of understanding, whatever that is. Whatever that is. But we're going to take we're not going to go too deep into it. We're going to do a lot of price action here today. That's what I want to do because I think SpaceX is, I got to tell you guys, I mean, this thing is exploding. It's exploding. So we're definitely going to cover that. That's for sure. I was looking at the Rocket Lab, as you mentioned last streaming. Yeah, we got Rocket Lab up. I got RKLB. It's up big. SpaceX is going to buy that thing. You watch within the next 24 months. Give me 24 months on that one, Tina. You'll see that merger. That's my guess. I don't have inside information. I don't know anybody in SpaceX. I don't know anybody on Wall Street really anymore. I don't. But we'll see. That's for sure. Jason Max and Yo Shane. All right, guys, let's dive into price action here. I got a couple questions here. Tuku, good to see you, Tuku. Welcome. Ralph H. Hey, Shane, I'm doing well, Ralph. Let's see. Even though it's a swing trade, does the session matter with a 920 EMA entry? No. Here's why. We could sit around and I could say, okay, listen, I want a buy signal on the 920 on a 4-hour. I want that going into maybe the London session. If we want to be that particular about the trades we take, okay, I'll give you that. I'll say, okay, maybe we want to time it a little bit better. For me, no. It's a 4-hour chart. So think about it. Think about it in these terms. Or you got a 4-hour chart, you got a 24-hour day, 6 bars a day, right? 6 price bars a day. To me, those allocations of time, those increments are big enough to where we don't have to worry about perfect timing. That's one of the reasons why I like longer time frames. Now, I'm not a buy and hold investor. I'm not Warren Buffett. I don't sit around and go, okay, I'm just going to buy and I'm going to hold. That's not what I do. I try to time things as best I can during the trading day. But when we're talking about Forex pairs, you just don't have the volatility that you do with, say, commodities, commodity futures, or maybe stocks. You don't have it. A lot of times these currency pairs will just sit there and just sort of be like a dead fish. They're going to be very, very quiet, very, very slow. So for me, I'm looking for a move. Now, to me, the most important thing about this 920 EMA crossover, and we've got a lot of questions about it over the past few days. Folks like the 920. I like the 920. I think it's fantastic. The idea here is just to figure out where I have to get out of the market. You had a couple of options. You could have put your stop loss right there. You could have put it back down here where I did. You want to be right beneath that swing low. That gives you an opportunity to capitalize on market structure. But it is a position trade. There's no two ways about it. When you're trading a 4-hour chart, daily charts, you're taking positions. I don't necessarily love doing that, but what I do like is when the market goes in our favor, and I really felt strongly that our fundamentals were going to line up beautifully, absolutely beautifully, and they did. They lined up perfectly. BOC, Bank of Canada, holds rates. WTI crude oil starts falling. ECB raises rates. I'm not sure that there's a sure thing in the market ever. That was about as close to a sure thing as you could ever have. EuroCAD. So take a lot of pride in that trade idea. That was a good one. That was one of those where everything lined up just perfectly and we nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So definitely hats off there. But to answer your question, no. A 4-hour chart, just trade it. Think on a 24-hour period. Think 6 bars, 6 price bars, 6 4-hour price bars, and that is essentially your trading day. That's for sure. Ron John, are you selling SpaceX today? Not a chance. We broke over 175. I put a tweet out earlier today or on X about 175 being an area of compression. Well, I mean, with no further ado, let's just dive into the SpaceX conversation right now. SpaceX IPO, the goofy picture of Elon Musk, the world's first trillionaire. That's a lot of money. Trillionaire's a lot of money. He had all sorts of special interest stories that were out about the employees and the people that are now millionaires that have life-changing money, and that's fantastic. I love to hear that. A lot of times, wealth in this world has a way of consolidating, meaning the rich get richer. Well, something like SpaceX, I mean, you did have people that worked there for a long time that took the stock options and said, yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Multi-millionaires now, and that's fantastic. What they do with the money, a lot of times that type of windfall profit ruins people. I mean, look at the lottery winners. There's no doubt about it. When people win the lottery, if you're not equipped to handle that kind of wealth, you can go on a downward spiral very quickly because you can have anything you want, anytime you want. A lot of people can't handle that. So there's going to be some SpaceX people that are going to be challenged by this new influx of wealth. But personally, I can only speak for myself, but I mean, that would be a problem worth having. I do believe that. All right, so SpaceX, here's the deal, guys. It's blowing up. I mean, it is not blowing up on the launch pad. Take a good look at your 1-minute price action today. You see right in here, we opened way higher. We opened at about $10 higher. Let's see, our open was about 171. We closed at 161. I had a 168 close. That was my prediction for last Friday. Closed beneath that. And I have to tell you that on today's open, personally, I had a feeling we were going to test 150s. I said, we're going to sell off, we're going to trade down here, and then that's where the big demand's going to come in. That was completely wrong. The demand came in right on the open. 175, you see that, my white line there, my white dashed line. 175 was the top of this thing. Called it pretty well last Friday, thought that 175 was going to be sort of the top, and it was. And now you're coming right back down. This right here is compression. And this is something that everybody pretty much needs to understand. I don't care what your strategy is. I don't care if you're ICT. I don't care if you're crossovers. I don't care what you do in the markets. If you don't understand how key levels function and big round numbers function, you're doing yourself a disservice. Things like 175, very important. 150, very important. When you offer something like a SpaceX, nobody knows what the heck it's worth. And I mean, nobody knows on this planet really what this is worth. There's all sorts of people saying, okay, well, if we do X, Y, Z, we get some compression here. Maybe we get some consolidation in the industry, and then this thing's worth, $5,000 a share, whatever. Well, whoever you believe. There's people out there that say it's worth $30 a share. I read them. I sat there and I go, well, I don't know about that. I mean, the people want it. They're buying it. It's always going to be worth more than that, isn't it? Well, maybe not. The bottom line is this. When you see something that hits the market, and nobody knows what it is. So it's either an IPO like a SpaceX or maybe just WTI crude oil when the war kicked off. All of a sudden, everybody was saying, okay, Persian Gulf's closed for business. We could have a major global conflict. Could be a regional war. Could be a big war. What is crude oil worth? Nobody knew. And that's why the price flew all over the chart. This is the same type of situation. And when you're in those deals, what is SpaceX really worth? You have to look at the big handles. You have to look at the key levels. 175 is absolutely huge. No question. 175 is gone. I had that as being a top maybe for the next couple weeks. It's gone. 181. 181.16. What's the top today? Top today was 5 minutes ago? 6 minutes ago. Top's 184.45. So what do we want to do right now as traders? It's bullish. It's bullish. There's no two ways about it. The demand is there. People are snapping these shares up, just like they're selling them like hotcakes. So what do we do as traders? How do we get in on the action? Well, number one, you could buy it right now. I really wouldn't blame you. I think you're vulnerable just because the price is extended over the past two sessions. What could we do to really build a rock solid game plan to trade SpaceX for the next week, 2 weeks? Pullbacks. Now, there's a couple of different scenarios that I think that we're going to be looking at. This looks to me like 200. Now, that was something that I talked with somebody that was in on the initial float, and they believed 200. They saw 200. They said, this thing's going to 200. And I said, man, I don't know. I was really worried about 150, testing some soft ground. Remember, the institutions got 135 Thursday night. And a lot of traders got 135 from the brokers, right? So you're looking at 135. It opened at 150 Friday. You got a hell of a gap there. You got 150 to 135, about $15. So my idea was, I said, I tell you what, I don't know about the top side of this thing. I don't know how high this thing can go. I have no idea. But I do know this. If it tests the waters beneath 150, look out. Because it's not just going to move a little bit lower. It's going to move a lot a bit lower. And right now, we've got the complete opposite scenario. You can see, right, we've got our sort of our little box there, our 1 minute box, an explosion up over 175. So what do we want to do right now? I mean, what makes sense right now? Do you buy 181s? Maybe. If you're going to hold for a couple of months, maybe you're going to hold for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, whatever. Maybe it makes sense at 181. Maybe you see 400. Maybe you see 500. Maybe you see 20,000. The bottom line is this. Do you have to buy 181s right now? No. There's nobody got a gun to your head. You don't have to buy anything. Am I selling SpaceX right now? Absolutely not. No way. We were sellers here. We executed the trade Friday live. Go back and check out the live stream. We executed from right there. Beautiful trade. Absolutely beautiful trade. 175, no doubt about it. Bam. Tested it, retraced off. It was dicey early. Market ran against us early. Came right off now. Now you got the compression. Now this should scare everybody. And by scare, I mean you need to be aware of this. 175, compression, break. Now you broke. Now you're on the run. And as soon as you're on the run, I mean, there really is there's no top to this thing. What's the next port of call after 175? 200. So what do we want to do right now? You got a peace deal, supposedly a memorandum of understanding. I can't say memorandum of understanding between Iran and the U.S. That's going to bring bidders to risk assets. You can see the board is just lit up like Christmas over here. So what do we want to do? Basic stuff. Easier is better. Today's session, 178. Is it great? Is it a great entry? No. Could it be a pretty good entry? Of course. 38% on an uptrend, absolutely. Right there. 175, 62% retracement at today's range is at 174.56. That's your bid. That's where you want to bid this thing from, is about 175. So if you want to get in right now, I'll look the other way. That's one of those where you sort of hold your nose and you buy it and you go, It's not the best price in the world, but we do see the upward trajectory. This feels like a 200 now. It could reverse. We could reverse. If we close beneath 175, maybe things get pretty dicey towards the close today, then I would say you probably want to be short if you close under 175 today, just because the top may be in. But this looks to me like we're going to fight it out. 200, lot of demand. And anytime you're moving these types of volumes, these very high volumes, you have to really reevaluate what you think about the market. We sold 175s Friday, no question. That's over now. One last thing I'm going to say about this before we move on. What is this right here? This is tough. This is a tough range. Really, this is a tough read. What is this area right here? It's a demand zone, sure, but what is it? Is it a rally-based rally? This is a big sell-off here. Is that the base area? You bet. A lot of folks love ICT. A lot of folks love smart money concepts. Learn how to read value areas. Learn where the compression is and where the demand is. There's no question that area right around 175 is a big deal. Absolutely huge deal. If we get that pullback, and I have to tell you, I would be surprised if we don't get it today. I think we're going to get it today. If we don't, that's fine. But 175 to 200 could be pretty good. That could be a pretty good trade. A much safer trade than just buying the initial IPO because we didn't know what was going to happen. But a lot going on right there with SpaceX stock. That was sort of the name of the stream. This has been the number one thing in finance. No question about it. You can see the dopey Elon Musk face. Is the world's first trillionaire. We're not even sure what money's worth anymore. A trillionaire. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right, guys, I got way behind on the live chat. Sorry to ramble a little bit there, but you just don't get an opportunity to really break down this market, this type of price action on something that's brand new. You just don't get it these days. Everything's always sort of been old and been had. SpaceX is brand new. Does it go to 50,000 a share? There's people out there saying this is the next Berkshire. I said it Friday. I said if they start consolidating in the financial industry, SpaceX isn't just about spaceships. It's about something completely different. And blew me away. That's for sure. All right, let's see. Elon Musk, Peppy Coin. Yes, ETF. Well, I mean, I liked Shiba Inu. That was one of my pet rocks, my favorite. This thing's getting destroyed. Is it time to buy maybe something like a Shiba Inu? You're down right around 5. 5 is definitely a hot number for this crypto. It's definitely in the Elon Musk ecosystem. Did Shiba benefit from SpaceX? Don't really know what the case use is or the use case is for Shiba, however you say that. You can see exactly where you're trading, though. You're trading at all-time lows. This run up in here was fantastic. I unloaded my stake in Shiba right in here. I bought it like 11, 12, somewhere right in there. That was when the the crypto banks started failing, bailed. Then this thing exploded right there. Would have been nice to have been into that. Don't really care, though. Would have been nice to know the lottery numbers from Saturday night, right? You don't worry about that stuff. But, you know, maybe you hold another year and then get that big pop. Was it life-changing money? Pretty damn close. Can't worry about that stuff, though. That's just the way the markets work. Right now, what I would be concerned about with Shiba is you're trading at all-time lows. Maybe if we could get a monthly hammer formation, if we get a hammer candle to set up, maybe you could bid this thing looking for 10 again. But I got to tell you, the crypto environment is strange right now. I mean, the bidders aren't there. The bidders that have been there are not there anymore. And I'm looking at this very closely. Fantastic, really a fantastic Fibonacci sequence we had built. A couple of great trade ideas that we had about 3 weeks ago. But this right here is interesting. The spike low back there on February. February's low was right down around 59.9. What was this month's low? 59.1. Bidders at 60,000. That looks to me like institutional bidders. That's what I would say. So you got a monthly double bottom set up here in Bitcoin. If you're long Bitcoin and you're thinking about 125s, which I was relatively certain we would go retest in short order, it is not happening. Still bullish. I mean, you can't really argue with it. You almost need to back off to a yearly chart here and take a good look at what you've got cooking on the longer time frames. But when you're talking about Bitcoin and saying 125, 150, 175, or maybe you're, I can't remember that young lady's name, Kathy something or other. She runs the Bitcoin or bought it. Her hedge fund's just knees deep in Bitcoin. What do you think? I mean, does it go to $1 million? I mean, these guys were talking about $1 million, $2 million Bitcoin. I mean, we have to understand exactly how far that is away. I mean, this is a yearly chart. This shows you right now that you're nowhere near those types of valuations, and you're with a fledgling type of an asset. I mean, I know it's a yearly chart. We just sort of shrunk it way down, but sometimes you need to visualize exactly when somebody comes in there and says it's going to be worth $2 million. Okay, how are you going to get to 2 million? Institutional adoption, scarcity? Okay, maybe. For me, I see no reason to buy it right now. Done. Can't find one. Definitely an uptrend. You get the year's lows right there, January's lows of 2022. Nice big rally, 126. So what was your lows? Your lows was 15.4, 15.5, all the way up to 126. Clearly volatility is there. 62% is a big deal. 58,000, maybe 57,750. That's great. What happens if we trade beneath this? What happens if we trade beneath this? Then you're starting to talk about us making a little bit of money. Now you're talking about a little demand zone right there, right around 40,000. That's a fantastic trade. That's the difference between being a white knuckling trade where you're just, you're white knuckling it. You're hoping that the thing goes up, whereas you know it's going to go up. It's not going to go beneath 40,000. You can write that down, book it, record the stream, quote me next year. It's not going beneath 40,000 for very long. I firmly believe 50,000. This feels to me like 50,000 is going to come into play just because it's a big round number. It's about half of that initial run up, probably over the last 3 years. Something like that. So 70, 78, 70, not really catching any bids there. Catching bids at 60. Where do you buy? Do you buy right now? Do you buy and hold Bitcoin? I can't figure out why. I really can't figure out why. I mean, there's a lot of folks online that are saying buy and hold it right now. I believe that was the big influencer, Andrew Tate, the kickboxer. He came in and he dumped supposedly 5 or 10 million, bought that in Bitcoin from 60,000. And was saying this is the easiest thing he's ever done. And I said, well, we'll talk to you in about a year or 18 months, and we'll see. Because to me, it looks to me like the yearly range for Bitcoin may already be in. And if it is already in, how high can we really go this year? I mean, where would you really expect that? Look at this chart. This is a great technical exercise. Look at this chart. Where do you think that this thing's going to go? Okay. 5 or 10 million from 60 grand. Great. Good for you. I hope you win. Where do we think this thing's going to go this year? Are we really going to bounce off of that and close up in here? I can't see it. I think you're going to rotate right in here until next year or maybe the next year. And then you might get your rally. But for right this minute, we're talking about going into a rate hike cycle, tighter monetary policy from Kevin Warsh. He was supposed to cut rates. We're going to talk a lot about this Wednesday on FOMC Live. But what happens from here? Do we see that big of a reversal? No, not this year. We're already 6 months into it. We have to start admitting that 2025 may not, or 2026, that's the year, isn't it? May not be the year of crypto. I look at that chart and man, that's terrifying if you're a bull. It's terrifying because the natural... Last thing I'm going to say about this, and then we're going to move on because I'm wasting a lot of time on this, but the natural area of support, that's demand. This right here is selling. That is your strong demand bar. Takes you right up right from that zone. We've got a 13-year EMA right there that's coming into play at about 38.89, 39. I mean, that is the buy. That's the buy you want. This up in here, more than likely is going to trade sideways and be trash. It's going to be garbage for a while. It's just going to be really difficult to read. So we're looking for clear directions. We want clean breaks. Do we get clean breaks this year in Bitcoin? Nope. That's my opinion. I'm an opinionated guy today, but definitely want to be careful with that. You don't want to get chopped up in there. The trading could be pretty good if you're just looking to trade small profit targets, Something like that could be very tasty, but looking to get a direction going, no way. All right, let's see. Babjeez, Donald J. Trump loves every opportunity to move the market. Why put the signing ceremony on a separate day, probably with wine and cookies? Well, I mean, it was an interesting day. I mean, it was an interesting weekend here in the United States. We had, let's see, the Knicks won the championship on Saturday. You had the big UFC fights yesterday on Trump's birthday. I wasn't really for it. I didn't understand why you would have UFC fights, on the White House lawn. I thought it was sort of didn't really make much sense to me. But I watched the production. The production was amazing. The production was amazing. The flyovers they had early. I mean, they had the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. It was amazing. You also had some pretty good fight action in there. You had just incredible photos. The fighters were warming up in the White House, and then they came out with Medal of Honor winners and first responders and things. I was really blown away by how great the production really was. So I was one of those people that sort of had to eat my words. I didn't think that it was going to be a big deal, and it really turned out to be a big deal. No matter what you think of the politics, and I get it. I mean, the United States is so divided. The world's so divided now. I understand. People love Trump. People hate Trump. I get all of it. But the actual spectacle, they had 80,000 people on the lawn out there watching fights on big screens. It was really something to see. I was surprised at how well they pulled it off. They pulled it off very well. So I guess it was a positive thing, but it was a big weekend. He wanted the peace deal yesterday before the fights, and Iran wouldn't do it or whatever. And personally, I don't think the war is over, not by a long shot. And you could probably write that down as well. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It does look like we're going to enter a period of calm there over the summertime months, which should depress oil prices just a little bit. That's for sure. Andrea Garwal, good to see you. Andrea, welcome. If you have any questions, be sure to ask. If you guys want to look at a certain market, I've got a lineup of markets that I want to cover here. We've sort of got drug into the tall grass. They're talking Bitcoin, talking about a lot of technicals there with SpaceX as well. All right, let's go ahead and get to week 25, 2026. We're about halfway through the trading year. Iran deal. That was the big news for today. It's driving bullish sentiment. I mean, we're definitely hitting the bids, up about 700 points in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Tomorrow's housing starts. That's not going to be a big deal at all. FOMC Live Wednesday, that's going to be a big deal. Be sure to join me live. We're going to break down the presser. Kevin Warsh, first press conference as the new Federal Reserve Chairman. That's a big one, so we're going to cover that one live for you. On Wednesday, Thursday, BOE, SNB. That's a big day potentially for the Forex. Thursday is going to be a big one. If you're trading those pound pairs, if you're trading the Swiss franc pairs, be ready for that. Friday is no donation Friday. Nothing really scheduled, but I got to tell you, in the Trump administration, the Trump era, every Friday typically has something happening. Last Friday was a blockbuster with SpaceX. But I got to say that this Friday, we're not expecting anything scheduled. Doesn't mean it won't happen. So definitely going to want to take a look at that. Right now, though, we got to check back in. SpaceX trading 183s. I mean, it's just an absolute light show to the top side. Really a bullish break right there. Okay, so here we go. A little bit of news. These are the T-bills. I got to tell you that it's not really news. We want to highlight these just to monitor where yields are, but you don't worry about stuff like this. 3-month and 6-month yields did not move very much. That means the U.S. government's not offering huge incentives to raise some money. What does that mean? It means that the money's flowing into risk assets, not necessarily debt products. So always remember that T-bills are the risk-free rate. That's a rate that you get with zero risk. So the government's going to pay you. You're going to be in great shape. This is a risk asset. The NASDAQ 100, US 100, you're definitely looking at one of those markets that's just a complete uptrend. We have 30,000 being a key number, and I mean, we are up and away today, almost 3%. Nice compression right around our key numbers. Don't forget our key numbers, guys. They're very, very important. Nice compression right there, and then we're just off to the races. A lot of that has to do with SpaceX. Money is flowing in. I sort of had a conversation with a couple of traders, a couple of investors actually, at the local tavern last Friday, and was actually just chopping up what they thought of SpaceX and if they got any of it. And the optimism in the way that things have changed, that changed things. That much money coming into a space stock, a highly speculative tech stock, changed everything. Things are different now. They really are. And the money is the way that the money is going to be allocated. It was already flowing into AI heavily. It was already flowing into tech heavily. That thing is going to take a 2 or 3-fold. I guarantee you, and we're going to talk more about this as it unfolds, but the Anthropic and the OpenAI IPOs for later this year, those are going to be valued over $1 trillion. I would almost guarantee it, just because of the bullish price action that's hitting SpaceX right now, and now it's hitting the NASDAQ. So, I mean, that's the old thing. I mean, where are all the cool kids playing? The cool kids are playing tech right now, and they are investing in a big, big way. For me, this is easy. If you're looking at an intraday trade, what you want to do probably in the next 2.5 hours, 3 hours, is you want to make sure that you get an opportunity to buy a pullback. So right there, that's 6:30 a.m. my time, so 8:30 Eastern. That is opening bell, ding, ding. That's going to be your U.S. session right there. Right there, you can see the volumes up a little bit. Remember, that's tick volume. Those aren't from the exchange. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, but you can see that this action right here, nice big rally. If we do get that pullback, 30,000, 30,470, I mean, that's gravy. All you're looking to do here is buy with the trend. There was an old saying, at least one of the first ones that I was taught when I was trading was my uncle. Some days we would do all this technical analysis. I would pull up Fibonacci's. We would look at our ADRs. We look at our ranges, our range figures, what we think is going to happen. We read the news all day, and he would sit there for the first half hour of the market, and he goes, buy it and walk away from it. What that means is you just throw your money down and you go out to lunch. Go fishing, because you can only mess things up. This is a buy it and walk away from it type of a thing. The NASDAQ up huge. I'm waiting for a retracement. I don't see any reason to buy it right now. But honestly, the traders that are probably going to win here are just going to go in, and they're going to let this thing bleed for a couple of weeks higher. And always remember that markets look forward. Everybody looks forward in the markets. What that SpaceX IPO did was it changed expectations for the entire market moving forward. So when you have those big-time IPOs out there, Anthropic, OpenAI, these are big ones. These are going to be trillion-dollar market caps, no question. Why are they trillion-dollar and not $750 billion like they were a couple days ago? Because the amount of money and interest that went into SpaceX, it created such a buzz that people want to get on the lead lap now, and they're going to buy Anthropic and OpenAI, and they're going to do it big. And so we're watching this market. I mean, as much as I want to say sell it, you can't sell it. Is it overvalued? Of course it's overvalued. Is this tulip mania? Yeah, clearly. But you can't sell it right now. And the reason why you can't is because you're fighting a really stiff uptrend, and you're fighting hype, and you're fighting the biggest dollars in the world right now are going into big tech. And if you guys want to fight that and you want to go short, that's your business. I am not interested. There's no way I'm going to fight BlackRock. I have no business doing it. They're too big. So what we do is we try to get on their coattails. Nice Fibonacci retracement sequence here. You have an opportunity potentially to bid this later in the day from 38%. Pretty good scalp. We talk about BlackRock buying $5 billion here. I believe they bought $5 billion allocation in SpaceX. Well, we don't have $5 billion, but maybe we get that trade and we walk out of today's action with a couple $100. That's not bad. That's not a bad play. Of course, if we move higher, then your Fibonacci's move here. To be honest with you, if we spike higher and break this market structure, I'm probably not as interested in it, but we'll definitely be looking at that later. Let's go ahead and pull up the US 100. Let's go US 100 on this 920 EMA crossover. I don't advise doing this on a 4-hour chart. It's definitely too long of a time frame. But now, what do you got? 30-minute chart. You had a bid last week, which is fine. Don't really carry those over the weekend. Natural resistance was at 30. We got some compression there. Now what do we have? We have just a freight train heading north. Do we want to sell this thing ever? Yeah, maybe. There may come a time. Then let's go to a daily. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Let me take a good look. There was your bid. There was your bid back on the 8th of April. Think about where we were in the 8th of April, early April. War. Everybody was worried about the market falling apart and crashing. Look at what's happened. I mean, that was your bid, essentially. Would we look for a cross under, maybe get a sell? Well, we thought we might get a sell there on a daily. Didn't get it. Market blows higher. SpaceX is the reason. 184 right now and going up. We're going to 200 today. Feels to me like SpaceX is off the rails. That thing's going to 200. All right, a lot of other action in here. Google, clearly Google is a big beneficiary. The deals that they've signed with SpaceX, that all came positive as well. Nice big break there, 369 up about 3% on the day for blue chip investors. They've been raking in the profits from Alphabet and Google for years and years and years. Still doing it. Tesla, wanted to see a deeper pullback in Tesla. That would have been fantastic. I thought we had an opportunity to get it last Friday when Tesla was sort of under pressure. 356 was down there. That was a sweet buy. Now we're at 411. The market has definitely turned, and SpaceX is rising. It's the tide, right? Rising tide raises all ships or whatever. There you go. Great day for Tesla? Not really. Bullish, though? Yeah. The hype's real. Sats. This is EchoStar Satellite Corporation monthly, having a horrible month, off about 20%. Went right down to 50% retracement of that current wave. Take a look at the daily. Not good. There's bidders there. Huge sell-off here. There's bidders there. Still, though, very, very vulnerable. That low at 106. If we trade beneath 106 and break beneath that 50% retracement, we could go very, very low. We could go very, very low. So if you're trading sats, you're trading EchoStar Satellite, I don't think it's a bid yet. I would wait. This is a beautiful Fibonacci retracement right down there, right around 97, 97.50, maybe 95. That's the difference between being somebody who's white-knuckling it and holding on for dear life to maybe being a trade that you make a lot of money right off the bat. So definitely want to wait there. I think that if you're trading sats, you want to do that. And RA Kelby Rocket Lab. Tina, this one's for you. You can see a nice big retracement. Horrible sell-off, absolutely brutal sell-off. I think that this is a takeover candidate. I think that Musk, and they've got some smart people in their financial end. I think when they start making moves and consolidating the industry, Rocket Lab's way up on the list. You're going to need as much infrastructure and resources as you can get to meet investor expectations. I mean, it's one thing to buy these shares of SpaceX, but it's another thing to say, okay, where are they going to be in a year? How's it going to work? Well, you're going to have to wait and see. You're going to have to expand, though. You're going to have to buy things. You're going to have to get resources and really streamline production of what looks like the next generation of finance, space, not even space travel, just space infrastructure. It's fascinating what's happening. But this right here, nice big sell-off there, a nice bounce. I don't know if they watched the live stream from Friday, but really, and you're looking at an 8% bounce, and this is a takeover candidate. I mean, this is an acquisition. They're sitting around a table. They really are. They're sitting around a table at SpaceX. The financial people are going, what do we need to acquire to make this thing really go? They got a list of names. They got a list of companies that are sitting there going, okay, maybe we buy Rocket Lab. Maybe we buy Sats. Maybe we do that. It's going to start happening. Probably not yet. I would be surprised if they do anything this fiscal year, but next fiscal year I would be taken aback if you don't see SpaceX go in on the prowl and start consolidating the industry. I'd be very, very surprised because they have the money to do it. 1.77 trillion, almost. Well, you're over 2 trillion now. I mean, up at 184 a share, 2 trillion in market cap. Financing is not going to be a problem. You could see those deals start happening. I would say Q1 next year. What does that do to SpaceX? Drives it higher. As they grow, that's what you want. This is our bid down here, 174, this demand zone. Who knows if we ever even see that again. Biggest number on the market, no question, 200. No question. All right, let's go ahead and look at U.S. oil, and I think we'll go ahead and call it a day. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask. Are you watching the World Cup? Babgees. You know, I'm not a big, I call it soccer, and everybody gets mad at me. In America, we call it soccer. Football is American football, but no, I'm not watching the World Cup. Haven't watched it yet. I watched it a couple years ago. I don't know how the U.S. is going to fare. I think that a lot of the European teams are better at soccer, better at football than we are. But no, to answer your question, Babgees, no, I'm not watching the World Cup, but I will tune in. I've got to tune in, right? At least check it out. U.S. oil opens gap down right there at about 80.47. You see this is a nice sell signal that did not work back on the 17th of April, sort of the bottom of sort of our tensions there. You see, okay, what's going to happen here? War kicks off, and now we've just been meandering sideways. To me, the crude oil market has been really difficult, and that's sort of my calling card. That's what I do, is WTI crude oil. Been doing it for years. Right now, though, it hasn't been a great year to be trading that just because the volatility is just so ridiculous. But you can look at this monthly chart. Nice spike low going back to the December of last year. That low, if you were watching the live streams at the time, I was making predictions, maybe 48s, maybe 45s, 48s, 52s. I thought that would be a pretty good area for WTI crude to maybe base. And then the war kicked off. And as soon as the war started, everything we thought about WTI crude was wrong. It was absolutely wrong. And so I just started laughing at it, and I said, well, I guess we're going up now. And that's exactly what happened. You can see the big, massive rally right there in March, and then compression in April, sort of an inside bar there in May, but we broke. And this is fantastic. Really a great example of market, not necessarily market structure, but price discovery. No question about it, because what did you have here? Very calm market, very fun rotational market. It was easy to trade. It really was. It was very easy to trade last year. You can see really going back to April, even before that, rotational market, a lot of order, very simple. Develop your range numbers, figure out your ADR, your average daily range, 13-period ADR. Run that from the open and the close, or run that from the right before the New York Open. You could build a set of range numbers. It was easy. Sell at the top, buy at the bottom, and that's it. You know, things like this when you're playing a rotational strategy or a reversion strategy make you feel really smart. I think I walked away at one point 27 days in a row with a profit, and I was sitting there going, "Man, I guess you're just master of the universe, aren't you?" And then things changed. One of the things that, if you're new to the markets, that you'll come to understand over time is when not to trade. And I can tell you that when we started doing this in March, I was done trading crude oil for a while. Couldn't do it. You couldn't do it because the ranges were so big. The daily ranges were huge. Basically, when you showed up for the U.S. session, so much price action had already been delivered during the London session that you really didn't have an idea of which way the market could potentially break. It was just sort of ranging around inside a London session, and that makes it really tough. You play from the top, the bottoms on the tops. There's trades you can make, but it just isn't any fun. There's no real money. You can't get in on a move. And down here, you didn't have to try to get in on a move. You could just buy the top, sell the bottom, and you're in pretty good shape. Look at these monthly ranges. I mean, these are really small. So when you see monthly ranges like that, essentially you're seeing daily overlap. One day trades inside of the other day, the next day trades inside of those days. So your weekly ranges, there just really wasn't there anything to look at. You're saying, this is another dead week. And a lot of people were complaining about crude oil. They're saying, this market's dead. There's no big moves. And I was laughing. I said, this is easy. God give me a boring business. That's what I always say. And or this is James Vanderbilt said it first, I think. But I said, yeah. You know, it's the old saying, you know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I think it was Vanderbilt again said, no, put all your eggs in one basket and then watch that basket. I've never been a big believer in diversification across the markets. I think that you end up diversifying away your returns. But trading in this fashion, when you're trading a rotational strategy and the market's dead, I mean, it's as easy as just showing up and just taking the top, taking the bottom. And it's business as usual. And that's really what we're looking for as traders. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for this stuff right here. I mean, this stuff here. I mean, they're all over YouTube. Just go ahead and Google, you know, millionaire U.S. oil traders or millionaire WTI traders. It's going to throw you back 1,000 videos. They want to get on these huge moves, the incredible volatility. Oh, that's where the opportunity is. For me, I don't see it that way. I see the risk profile really getting out of hand very quickly when those daily ranges, $5 and $7 daily ranges, you're going, what do you do with that? How do you trade that? For me, it's always been just get the hell out of the way. Don't get eliminated. You can lose houses doing that. You can lose your vehicles, lose houses, lose your life. You get on the wrong side of a move like that, where crude oil spikes 51% in a month, and you're trying to hold short positions or something, and it happened. I guarantee you it happened right there. Somebody's writing a book about how they lost their life savings in March of 2026. I guarantee it. Don't put yourself in that position. Let's be smart. Let's figure out ways to get in and out where we're not saying, okay, well, here's my house, here's my car, here's my livelihood. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't need to do that. This right here, though, that's, well, you either made a fortune or you lost a fortune. Massive candle. traded inside. But take a look at, really, look at the characteristics of this April candle. Look at the range. It's a doji. It closed essentially as a doji. Look at the range. Pulled back to 62%, preserved the uptrend, right? So we're still sort of bullish, but now that area is under fire again, right around 79.62. It's a fantastic bid. You can see exactly where we want to bid. You got your key level, 62%, right around 79.62. And then you've also got a 13-month EMA down there at about 78.05. Those are great trades. Those are bids, no question about it. So when we dial this down to a 30-minute chart, what's happened thus far today? Compression. Look at the compression. Compression in front of the key level. What happens when we break? We don't just go a little bit lower, we go a lot of bit lower. So with this news cycle out there, could this market completely implode to the downside? Yes. Crude oil could get very, very nasty and very, very sticky very, very quickly. And my guess is the fight probably happened. It's at $80 right now. That's the fight. If you want to go ahead and take a look at some crude oil futures, remember we are coming up on rollover. I don't believe we're quite there just yet, although the volumes on this look like they're down quite a bit. TPO charts, where's your point of control today? WTI futures, where's your point of control? About 80 and a quarter. That's a range-bound flat market. Even though you opened down 5% and you got the big move, price action hasn't done anything. This market's not going anywhere until we get a firm, more firmer understanding of what's happening in the Persian Gulf. No question. Late day trade. What will we do late day? Well, you could buy the point of control. The point of control is down there about 80 and a quarter. It's not a bad way to do it. Do you want to be long or short right now? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Neither. A lot of folks are going to say, Shane, what about this gap right here? It's a pretty good gap. Let's go to the daily. Is it a gap? Is that the gap? This area right here was traded when? Back in April. Personally, if I call it a gap, it's 60 to 90 days. That's just my rule of thumb. So are you at 60 days? Pretty close. Do we get a rally? More than likely. We'll fill that gap in. So you're looking somewhere right around, bottom of that gap's about 83 and a quarter. Top of today's range is about 82.50. So you got about $1 gap in there. I would be surprised if we don't trade up and trade 83s at some point. Probably not today, though. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. But definitely want to keep an eye on this stuff, especially if you're trading commodities. Remember, there's 3 rules of commodity trading. Gaps get filled, and gaps get filled. That's absolutely huge. So you want to definitely be aware of what's happening here in WTI crude. As far as what do we think is going to happen, I have no idea. It's not what you guys want to hear. It's not what anybody wants to hear. You don't know what's going to happen? No, I have no idea. This is all about the memorandum of understanding. It's all about the war in the Persian Gulf. And if, in fact, this thing is actually a peace, if there's a peace coming our way, or if there's going to be more war, that really is what's going to dictate the financial markets in general. This was a positive thing for Trump. He's at the G7 this week. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Not really worth covering today, but this was the move, the downward move they needed in crude oil to potentially ward off a global recession. We will see. Strait of Hormuz is supposed to be open. Right here is the news. There it is. U.S. and Iran reached deal to end the Mideast war, agreement to be signed, but it's not really the case. It's a ceasefire, 60-day ceasefire. They're trying to figure out how to get around the more sticky parts of the negotiation, which have to do with enriched uranium, has to do with the Strait of Hormuz. These are things that neither side really wants to move on. This is just a breather. So, fresh Epstein stuff 43 minutes ago. We'll see what happens there, right? All right, everybody, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Callie Buckle, good to see you. Good to see you, too, as well. We've been going for about an hour, so my throat's pretty much raw. A lot of allergies this time of year. The trees are popping. It's tough to talk. Definitely. Let me see. Hi, Shane. Absolutely. Absolutely, Callie. You're always welcome here. If you guys have any questions at all, be sure to reach out to me at howtotrade.com. SpaceX is on everybody's mind. Still not up and running on switch markets. Keep looking at it. Keep looking for it. I imagine this thing's going to be launched, probably not today, but maybe tomorrow or the next day. And that's actually sort of a blessing in disguise. Let some of this volatility die down. Then we can talk about how to sell, how to buy, how to get ourselves really in a decent position, potentially to make some money off of some key levels. I'm probably a seller of SpaceX from 200. More than likely. I thought that the 175 sells last Friday was a fantastic trade. That was really a good one. 200, probably going to get the same type of thing, but I got to tell you, we are going there. I mean, we really are going there. Let me take one last look at the yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely exploding. Absolutely exploding. I would be watching 200 like a hawk. If you have CFD market access, price selling right beneath 200 is not a bad play. Maybe 197, 197s, 195s give you an opportunity potentially to make a few bucks to the downside. But there's no two ways about it. That is an uptrend, and the market's exploding. A lot of demand. 200 is the next port of call. We broke 175s. I thought we would go down and test 150s before we got the big rally, but that's not going to happen. I keep rapping. That ain't going to happen. So we're looking at about 200s. Definitely watching that level. I think it's a great short. So if you do have market access, CFD market access, you can short from there and more than likely be okay. Just don't be greedy. Remember that if you do short from up there, you're fighting just an absolute aggressive, significant uptrend here. And if that is in fact the case, get out of the way. Don't be a hero. There's no reason to try to call a top yet. We got days, we got weeks, we got months. We'll be able to call a top in this thing in the next 2 weeks, I would say. 3 weeks. But right now, demand's there. The bidders are hitting the market, and that is a wrap. All right, everybody. Let me see. My broker can buy SpaceX. Well, I got to tell you, Tina, I mean, I've been asked about SpaceX more than anything probably in the last week. And, you know, full disclosure, I'm a commodities trader. I'm a futures. I trade crude oil and gold futures. That's what I do. That's my bread and butter. So I don't to sit here and talk like an absolute expert in stock trading. I'm not. But we do have a pretty good understanding of how markets work, and I know a frenzy when I see it. That right there is a feeding frenzy, and they're driving that to 186. They opened at 171, they closed 161 Friday, and you're already up $25 more. Tremendous bidding. Tremendous bidding. So if you decide to get into SpaceX, that's your own business. I can't tell you what to do. For me, probably be looking for a little scalp action beneath 200. What happens at 200? Is it the top? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, this thing can go to 500. It can go to 1,000. There's no question. It's all about how we get there. But the Iran war deal did help SpaceX today. It helped it in a big, big way. So that's where we're at. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I've rambled on long enough. I want to thank everybody for joining me. We just had a big rush of people join the live stream. So, unfortunately, you just caught the tail end of it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here for a day or so. We'll be back tomorrow about the same time. We've also got FOMC live on Wednesday. That's going to be probably the big program. If I was going to watch one stream this week, it would be Wednesday. Definitely want to check out Kevin Warsh. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I don't even know how to approach it. So we're going to get dressed up, and I'm going to see exactly how Warsh's bedside manner, how he handles himself, what he says. You know, I would be shocked if there's an interest rate cut in here anywhere, given really the price of energy and the price of gasoline here in the United States. But it could happen. It really could happen. So we're going to stay tuned. I mean, you know, the more we know, the less we know. It's one of those type of deals. Really great trading environment today, though. I don't like Mondays. Typically don't like them at all. But tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday are going to be fantastic. And I think that's going to be it's going to be where it's at. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for joining me once again. Have a fantastic trading session. If you need anything, reach out at howtotrade.com. Get your free account. Click on my picture. Send me a private message. Tell me what you think of the live streams. If you have any questions at all, be sure to ask. And, love to hear from you. All right, everybody. That's a wrap. Have a fantastic trading session. Have a better trading week. And as always, trade the action well, and we'll talk soon. See you. Traders all over the world are already using Switch Markets. Thousands of traders just like you across multiple markets each and every day. If you haven't joined yet, you can open an account and begin trading in just a few minutes. Click the link in the description.
What am I doing? I told myself this year was going to be different. So many things I want to achieve, yet I'm here wasting my time doom scrolling. I was going to start running again. I was going to make more of an effort with my friends. I was going to work on my confidence. I was going to get fit again. I was going to start trading. Time to wake up and stop making excuses. Okay, Switch Markets, let's do this. When you're ready to trade, Switch Markets is waiting for you.
By the way, you're not trading alone. There's a whole community of traders tuning in daily, sharing ideas, watching the markets together, right here on the Switch Markets YouTube channel.